Hi everyone, welcome to Get Ready with me, Louise. So excited. So I was kind of inspired today. I was going through my collection and I am getting rid of stuff. It's time for most of it. A lot of it, unfortunately, I think I'm going to throw away because it's got a smell. Some of it, though, I'm keeping even though it has a smell just for like memory purposes or just colors that I'm like, I wore that. Why did I do that? Type of thing, you know? It's mostly lipsticks, to be fair. Because with eyeshadows and stuff and blushes, like I don't like to step outside my comfort zone at all. However, because of that, I was sitting there thinking, and I'm wearing blue, and we all know that, blue and green are not necessarily my favorite colors to work with until, until, um, Glam Light came out with the Hershey's palette. And to be specific, I think it was the cookies and cream. This one. And I was actually going to play with this one today because I do like it, right? I mean, it's gorgeous. Especially knowing now to do a blue, for me to feel comfortable in it, I need a taupey color or a brown color to sort of go with the shade. Sorry. I do hope you can hear me. Look, I was going to turn the AC off, and I did. Except the temperature literally started to rise in this room like a degree every minute, okay? And then I thought it's just going to all melt off, so what's the purpose at that point? Then I thought if you can't hear me, what's the purpose at that point? But then I thought, hey, at least you get to see the products, right? Because I hold them up, so maybe you can't hear me, but you got to see the products, all right? That's my theory. Because I do have some new products, but then I'm using some old products too. So, let's go over the products that are on my face. And then I'll get back to the point of the video. You know how I am. I jump around all the time. I can't, my mind's just boom, 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 boom. Especially the older that I get. Like, I've really been noticing this. Like, I'll be concentrating on one thing, but then something else will catch my eye and I go that way, and then something else, and then I'm back to that way when I really should be right here. I don't know what's up with that. I used to not be like that, but now I'm all over the place. But anyway, it all eventually gets done at the end of the day, so I mean, there's that. So for foundation, sunscreen, I don't know. First off, do not use this as a sunscreen. I just tried that. That did not work well for me. But you could use it as like a foundation or skin tint because it is called the Hue Guard tint. Here's the thing. I put this on my face in the it's tinted, live tinted. I'm in shade 08. I put this on, right? 2 fingers, right? That's what they say. That's what they say. And I put that on my face and down my neck and on my ears, and it was everywhere. Everywhere. It was kind of blending in, but not really. So I had to go get my sponge wet. Mind you, I really like this little sponge by Morphe. It's kind of something. I don't know. I like it though. I mean, I have no complaints. It's huge, but there's something about that I like. Anyway, so I put it on, and then I had to smash it in with that and to pick up some of the extra. So therefore, I'm not getting the full SPF. But if I would have put my SPF on that was 50, and then just added this as the foundation, A, I wouldn't have been using as much, and B, I think it would have worked a little better. But did it work? Yes, I got it to work. So there's no peeling, no like little white dots. Sometimes that happens. I don't know what that's about either. But none of that happened. It just picked up the extra and it was fine. So I do like this a lot. Not as a skin tint though. Again, a skin tint to me is something like the that Lancome. Their new that skin loving thing. I don't even know where it's at right now. Oh, right here it is. I was like, it can't be far. The what is this called? Fresh Glow Tinted Serum, lightweight, buildable coverage. That's not the name of this, is it? I bet it's just called the Fresh Glow Tinted Serum. This one. This is like my favorite, like, tinted serum. If you just want like a very natural, like, it's a natural skin like thing. I mean, I know it says glow, but technically your skin has a glow to it. You know what I mean? That I love. This is thicker than that, and it's got more coverage right off the bat than that does. But I like it too. And I feel like both could be used for every day. It's just depending on what you're looking for and how much coverage you're looking for. But both will work for me, and I like them, and I think it turned out really good. So for bronzer, let me tell you, bronzer and highlighter. So I had purchased the Ulta Beauty. You know, I'm obsessed with it. This one here. Where's the new one? I don't know. This one is the California Sunlight, but I purchased, I think it would be the next one up, technically. Or this one is the next one up, and I purchased the lightest one. So this is where I get in trouble. Oh, here it is. I'm really not for sure how it goes. This one is called Santorani. I don't know, Sun. And then California Sunlight. So this one's the new one I just purchased. Actually, I think this would be lighter, right? I mean, if you're looking at it based on highlighters, this would be the lightest. And even the bronzer looks a little bit lighter. The blush kind of looks the same, to be fair, but that's not the blush I'm wearing today. So I've been in love with this. I wanted to try this. Both of them work on my skin tone. Really love it. But this one here, the Santorani Sun, I'm wearing the bronzer in it and the highlighter today. So it's just, the formula is so good on this, y'all. And right now, if you purchase so much from Ulta, you get a free little puffer purple bag, which I did, and I gave it to my daughter. So, you know, she's going to use it for like the weekends, to get away or something. But anyway, then I purchased this. So this is Physicians Formula, and I have seen this. I have walked past this every day I go to work, right? And I can't tell you how many times I almost bought it and said, no, you don't need it, right? I couldn't help myself this time. I was with my granddaughter shopping. I will say I'm kind of a little bit upset about it though, because, and I should have known this, it's kind of like spray painted on little strawberries, but the moment I stuck my brush in, they disappeared. I have a cat hair. Got it. Alright, so I'm kind of disappointed about that, but the color itself is really pretty, very easy to use. It's blendable, it's buildable. I mean, you can go in with a very light hand and just have a light flush pink, like, and the smell, it kind of does smell like strawberry jam, to be fair. So even though I'm not happy the strawberries are disappearing, the overall of it I do like. So just saying, love that. That's a kind of a big hit. Misses. Here's a miss for you. Well, this. We'll start the miss. The Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump in Rosy Mauve Shimmer Glass. Now, the formula itself, I don't mind it. The clicky thing, it's not my favorite again, but I don't mind it. My problem is that this is a collaboration with Tarte and Dunkin'. And you can see it's got a little clip and it's got a little coffee cup. And I have the lip mask in iced, I believe, and it has a little donut on it. I gave it to my daughter because A, there is no smell. Like, if you're doing a collab with Dunkin', come on. This has got a coffee cup on it. Why is this not smelling like coffee or something? The other one's a sleeping mask. It could have smelled like vanilla for all I cared. You know what I mean? But nothing, no. I feel like I get the little keychain thing, but like, I feel like they kind of missed the mark, and there's just so many of these out here now that, yeah, this is still good, but I just feel like the collab itself is a miss, therefore the product itself is a miss. You know what I mean? And I hate that. But there we are. I purchased it. I probably should have known better, but it is what it is. The lip liner I'm wearing with that, though, is not a miss. It is called Liar. It's the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil. I've really been enjoying their lip pencils. I've always enjoyed their eyeliners, of course, but Their lip pencils, I don't... Yeah, I have one or two, I think, prior to this one. But I like them. They're not bad. You know what I mean? Their price point's the same as anything else when it comes to the prestige side. So there's that. And then the eyeshadow I chose today. Yeah. So I was going to do the Glam Light, right? Because technically that is the one that really pushed me to like blues, or how to like blues, right? But I decided to go with this one because I haven't worn it in a while. I don't know if it's still available. Not for sure. But it's the Ethereal Eyes Moonlight by Makeup by Mario. And I haven't worn this in a while. I would say the first one is still my favorite, just because it is more neutral. You can see how old mine is. Okay, it's dirty. Just the Ethereal Eye one. Like, this is just more my everyday color story. You know what I mean? If I'm doing my look. But I do like this one in the sense of stepping outside my color, or stepping outside of my color. Y'all, it's been a long week, let me tell you. But let's get started into this one, because I don't want to keep you all day, but I do want to show you these shades, and I hope that the palette is still available. And granted, with these palettes, the mattes are nice, don't get me wrong, but it's these special shades right here, these four, that make and break this palette, you know what I mean? And I really think that it makes this palette, to be fair. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first shade we're going to start with is, I believe, EM3. Is that how we're calling these? I don't know. So there's no numbers. I don't even know what that says. I do know that I do need to get my eyes checked too, but that's a whole other story. We're going into this shade right here. It's like a brown, taupey, contoury shade. And I'm just going to sort of map it out on my eye. Like, the eye look itself didn't take me that long because, well, I only used a couple of shades. And granted, I have no idea what I'm doing, so it's just more me guessing, you know. But although I have been watching videos on, like, I don't want to say how necessarily like how to do your makeup, because do your makeup however you want, right? But I've been watching how other people do their makeup, or even how, like, no, I don't know makeup artists, but like, yeah, I guess they would be makeup artists, say to do certain things, try it, you know. And one of them said you take highlighter and you take it down your nose, your cupid's bow, your chin. I get that, you know, any high point. Then they said to put it right here, and I was like, well, now why would I do that? Like, I can't figure out the point of that, and they didn't say a point to it, so I'm like, I'm so confused, because to me, that's gonna, you know, bring out like my wrinkles and stuff. To be fair, I don't know. Like, I didn't understand that point, so it kind of confused me, to be fair. But here we are. And then we're going to go into this shade right here, which I'm going to assume is number 11. And it's this dark blue. But we're going to go in very lightly. And we're just going to build it up on the outer corner here. We're going to tap it on and then blend it out. I will say there is a little bit of blending involved here. Like, I don't necessarily think these are the easiest shadows to blend, but I also don't think it's the hardest shadows to blend either. And I am using my Rephr brushes, so I know that does help me out a lot. Although at the same time, I also don't think that you should have to use special brushes in order to make something work in today's age, you know what I mean? I feel like it should kind of just work. no matter what you're using. I mean, to a certain extent, obviously. I'm not saying you can use like you know, a hard brush that was cheaply made and something in it work, but, you know, Morphe brush, a Real Technique brush, something like that, they should be able to work with the shadow. But I really like that blue. Like, that's about as dark as I go with it. But if you wanted to, you most certainly could, build this up. And there is even a black in the palette to where if you really, really wanted to go deep and dark, you really could. But that right there, that's about as dark as I like to go. Because any darker, then I don't feel comfortable. And I think that's just a me thing, where I like to be more light and bright than deep and dark, because I don't feel like I can pull it off. Well, my mood might be able to pull it off, but like my look doesn't pull it off, you know? Depending on my mood. It's hard to say. And I'm trying to make it even. Oh, and the eyeliner I'm wearing, it's ColourPop. So let me get these back in here. I'm trying to talk loud enough, hoping you can hear, like I said. But if you can't, I'm showing you. The eyeliner is from, I'm pretty sure it is Revenge. I think it's from the, I don't know which one's that from. Is it Avatar or is it Naruto? Is that what? It's one of the two. I'm not for sure which one. But it's so pretty. It's like a metallic blue. And of course I like ColourPop eyeliners anyway. But I think it really went with this blue look that I'm doing. So love that I found that little gem. So we're going to go into that dark blue, and I'm just picking it up on this, and we're going to stamp it along the lower lash line and blend it in as close to the lashes as we can. At least that's the plan. I think I kind of took it down a little bit lower than I wanted to on the other eye, but I think it turned out okay, to be fair. But sometimes, you know, you make a mistake and it works out in your favor, and sometimes you make a mistake and it don't. But at the end of the day, y'all, it's just makeup. And I'm not going anywhere today, so I knew that. So that's why I was kind of stepping outside my comfort zone. And just, you know, doing whatever. But I kind of like the way that everything turned out, to be fair. Other than I did get a little bit of fallout with these special shades. I forgot. It's my fault, but at the same time, it's like we shouldn't have to deal with this at the same time. But, and again, I always say, like, for certain things, I'm willing to make that exception. You know what I mean? Like, the Pat McGrath special shades. I know what's going to happen, right? I've gotten better at fixing that. But at the same time, I know that I could have fallout. That's on me. If I don't do it a certain way or something. But with these, I had forgotten. And I did get a decent amount of fallout. Most of it cleaned itself up, I'll agree. And most of it you can't even see unless you're right up on me. But still, nobody wants to deal with that, you know? So now I'm going to take the shade, I guess it would be number 7. And I'm picking it up on this rougher brush, and it's one of the special shades. And we're going to put it all over the lid. I am going to lay my head back like this to keep it from falling out the best I can. And just lay it all over the lid. And again, I'm going to try to keep it away from the lashes, but get as close as I can because the fallout is kind of crazy, to be fair. But is the color worth it? I think so. But does that mean that it's worth it for everybody? Absolutely not. But I'm just showing you. And again, did I spray my brush? Did I lay like the Pat McGrath, the eye primer, the Exaggerize or whatever it is? This one. I should have. Intensify Artistry one. I should have used that. I did not. So therefore, this is on me technically. Or sprayed it. But again, I got less this time because I did lay the hair of my head back. But it's still there. Granted, I'm only seeing it when I'm using a magnifying mirror. Most of it wipes away, but some of it doesn't. Sometimes it gets in the lashes. Like, there is a lot to deal with. I'm not gonna lie. I could have used my finger to pat it on and it may have helped a little bit. But then I don't have the preciseness of my finger like you do with a brush. So it's kind of a trade, you know what I mean? Then I'm going to take the shade E, the number 10, this one here, and I'm going to pick it up. And again, it's going to do the same thing if I'm not careful. And again, I should spray it, but we're not. And I'm going to put it in the inner corner, again, patting it. If you do figure a way to master these shades, it'll be gorgeous. The look will be stunning. You'll be flawless. Like, I have not mastered it yet though, but I do think these shades are worth it 100 times over because they're just so shiny. Depending on how the light hits it, like it's gorgeous. So for the top lash line, I am going to use my YSL in Black Lash Clash. And I think this mascara is perfect for this look. Oh, it's gorgeous. And I could have curled my lashes. But I'm lazy. Perfect. And then for the lower lashes, my MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. And that is it for the day. Sometimes it's fun just to replay with what you already have. Sometimes it's nice to visit newer products also. For me though, I really haven't bought that much high-end stuff. It's been a lot of the Ulta Beauty brand just because I find it fascinating that not that long ago, was it a year, maybe two, everybody was talking and raving about the Sephora brand and how great it is. And I've tried products from them and they're absolutely good. I won't deny that. But I don't hear a lot of people talk about Ulta until recently, and I'm wondering if it's because it's their time to shine. But I have tried pretty good bit of their products, to be fair. And I do feel like they all are worth their price point, for sure. But there's some that just go above that price point, you know what I mean? And those face palettes, the Sculpt and Glow, I believe is what they're called. Yeah, Sculpt and Glow. There are 3 different ones, and I think that those are, I think they're a hidden, secret in a way. Like, I hardly see anybody talk about them. And in store, like, obviously I bought 2, but like, I do see people purchasing them. And that's technically what caught my eye to buy them, because sure, I can buy anything that's off the internet that they tell, somebody's talking about. But what are like the everyday people, the ones that come into these stores, what are they buying? Are they buying what the TikTokers are saying, or the YouTubers, or the Instagram? Sometimes, sure. But a lot of the times, it's stuff you either you knew about, you used it yourself at one point, but no longer. Or it's stuff that, like, just random. And I've been really paying attention to that, and, like, I find that fascinating. Because it's like, did you just come across it? Did you hear somebody talk about it? Like, these are the things I have questions about. Because I think that there are people that just blindly follow somebody and what they say, and whether good or bad, they just believe it. And then there's the ones that, are skeptical, so they'll get more reviews on something. And then there's the ones that just don't even watch at all. So to watch people come into a store and be like, I want what the TikTokers are, you know what I mean? And we're like, oh, okay. Or I'm looking for this, what do you think? Or I use this, do you still have it? Type of thing. I don't know. I find it interesting. But anyway, that's enough. So these are the products I used today. I'm definitely found some good ones, and then there's one that's good, but just it ain't worth the money for a little teeny coffee cup or a little teeny donut. Is it cute? Sure. But I'll be honest, this isn't even going to last that long. This rubber piece is going to give. Your product's going to run out. It's not that great of a color. The formula's fine. Like, I don't mind the formula. But the color is really not. There's no smell. Like, you got an orange lid. Woo. It's just, I just think they missed it there, and I hate that. But overall, my look turned out really good. I'm really pleased with it today. But let me know your thoughts on any of these products. Do you have any of them? Are you thinking about any of them? Are you glad you passed on them? I'm curious. Let me know down in the comments, and I will see you in another video soon. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, hit all. That way you're notified when I upload. I'm trying to upload a little more, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.